I'm Thierry Nivelet from FoxInCloud, and I would like to present you a FoxInCloud application so that you can understand what FoxInCloud can do for you and what kind of performance you can expect from a Visual Fox Pro application that has been adapted to the web using FoxInCloud. So let's start the FoxInCloud Web Application Studio, and let's take a look at this application. You see the project. You see the database with several tables and several views, and we also have, we can maybe see the database. You see you have quite a lot of relations. All the views are here, and the main table, which is an invoice table, has 200,000 records. As you can see here, 200,000. And this table has about 120 fields, which is a pretty heavy table. So we have rules. As you see, 123 fields. We have a bunch of indexes. And on some fields, we have some rules. Maybe I can find them, but it's not so important. So, okay, let's move away. So now, what I'm going to show you is we have several forms, about 10 forms. We have a report. We have classes, as you can see here. And then we have the LAN version, which is a desktop version of the application, which is the regular desktop application. So we're going to log in. And then you see that this application, actually, the purpose of it is to approve or pay invoices or dispute them if there is something wrong with the invoice. And another feature is that the client, which is a broker for transportation, can do some audit operations on the invoices before presenting the invoice to the customer. In fact, this application can be used either by the FoxInCloud application user, the company which runs the application, or its client. So here, maybe we can review. As you can see, we have many invoices. We have this client with 2,000 invoices, but we also have clients with 60,000 invoices. So the purpose of the application is to quickly find the invoice that needs to be processed, like filtering by division or filtering by career, both of them or only one of them, like here, or filtering by account. Maybe you want to only have the invoices from this specific account, or whatever, by date if you want, or by any kind of criteria you want. So you want to be able to review the invoice also. You want to see the amount, you want to see the comments about the invoices, you want to see the coding, the general ledger coding of this invoice, and you want to be able also to see the PDF. The PDF is really the original copy of the invoice by the transporter that you want to check. And if you belong to the company, you wanna be able to skip to audit mode. And when you're in audit mode, you want to be able to see the invoice PDF on the full size and maybe do some auditing. Like here, I want to make sure that the amount here corresponds to the amount that was in the original invoice, and I want to make some audit. And if I do this, then I have another invoice popping in, and I can check this out and say okay, etc., etc. So when I'm done, I may want to send all these details that were made to, I don't know, maybe we're going to send it to ourselves maybe. And here, okay, the invoice was sent, and the email was sent, and then I can see here that I get an email coming in, and everything is in the email. Okay, so you see that it's a powerful application for this kind of workflow. You can easily process things. You can change the GL coding if you want to, like here, or you can maybe change the amount. Then you have another line that pops up, and you want to be able to assign, or maybe your own. You can even use your own coding here and save. And then you will see that, oh sorry, you will see that this operation was, it's going to be, okay, it's going to be included in the notes. If you get back here, you can see that you get this GL coding operation was included automatically in the history of the invoice. And if you want to show the audited invoices, then you will see them in a list so that you can maybe sort out those that are audited, and even you can sort on this particular column to only maybe work first on the audited invoices. Then you can approve, you can say pay, and the night after the invoice will go into the pay process. Provided that you do this operation, you can review what you've approved. Okay, we find the invoices that we have approved, and we can see pay now. So now these invoices are they are pending, which means that they will be paid next on the next night. And as you can see, you can no longer change them, of course, because they are pending. So there is no way you can change them. Okay. Oh, by the way, we have a cool feature that makes we use the dynamic current control in FoxPro to be able, as you can see here, what is pending here. Okay, let's sort it differently maybe. I want to show you an example where you have, yeah, here it is. This one you can change. As you can see, you can change this one, but this one you can't because it's pending. So you have all these cool features that Visual FoxPro offers. You have them in this application. Okay. Of course, you can do some PDFs, like here. That's a report that is being processed, and you get the file that you can save as somewhere. So let's save it in my document, and then we can go, okay, we got the file popping up here that was just generated by using XFRX maybe. Oh, sure. You can also have the same with an Excel file, Excel workbook. So you can say save, and normally it should open, but it doesn't. So we're going to go to document, and we're going to say open that. Okay, so we gotta have the PDF file that was just generated. Okay, that's regular stuff that maybe you already do on your own applications, but I just wanted to make sure that everything is covered here. Oh, you have something very important too, is the user management. So I can change my own characteristics. I can't change my rights. I can only change my own profile. But if I go to, as I'm an administrator, I can go maybe to another user, like let's take someone regular here, and I can change the rights. Okay, I can see that this user has rights on this company, has rights on a single company actually, or on two companies. Should be two. Yeah, also have rights here. So I can remove the rights. So if I do this, it won't have any more rights. Okay. I wish I could. Yeah, I'm gonna move it back because okay, I'm gonna save all. Oh, I'm gonna give her all rights. Then I can close. And as you can see here, I can see the rights that were on the shadowing group. I don't have only have dispute, and maybe I can also approve. I can give these rights. Okay, so this user has rights, as you can see here. It has rights on this company, has specific rights, and on this other company has other rights. So if, of course, if I log in as this user, I will only have this column available, and this one depending to the company, but this one won't be available because I don't have the rights for that. All these features are included in this application. Okay. So now maybe what I want to do now is see how it works on the internet. Okay, so I'm going to get out of the application, and now I'm just going to run the same application but in the internet. So let's start this application in web mode. Okay, the server has started now, and now we just need to open a new browser and say localhost, and the name of the application is IP. And if we do that, we access the application, and as you can see, the index form is very similar to what we had in Visual Fox Pro. We have some enhancements like these rounded corners, and here we have another feature which is remember me, because as you know, in the internet, people like to automatically log in without, and that's what we do now, without typing anything. So the form is opening right now, just like it used to do in the desktop version, and now we have the form coming up. It's very similar to what we had in the on the desktop, with some changes. Like you see, the form has been improved by some graphic stuff, and what also is let's take new pen. As you can see here, let's take the pending. You remember we had these checkboxes in the desktop mode. Of course, we're running on the same database. So we have these checkboxes, and now we have a very cool design that makes it different now. And what is also cool is that, as you can see, we can mix up these disabled. These one are disabled. Nothing happens if I click it. And this one is enabled because one is pending, and one, as we saw, we can't change a pending invoice, but the one that is past due can be changed. So we are able to take advantage of the same cool feature that we have in Visual Fox Pro on the web, exactly the same. And we also have this form which is very similar. As you remember, we had this coding stuff here, and we could change this amount here. If we have 90%, then we have another line popping in. We have a balance that we need to do, and if we check any of the line, it's coded now, so it's balanced. And we can also type our own. Well, just wait a minute. We're going to do that again because we're in development. It doesn't happen in production. In development, as the CSS are made dynamically, then there is a certain time to, okay, I'm not addressing the right form. Should be on this one. Okay, so let's do it again. So we're getting back to GL coding, and of course the change we've made were not saved, so they are not in the database. So now if I type 90% here, I will have an extra line, and if I type, okay, I can do this, and then maybe have some test here, and this will be saved. Okay, and if I close that, and if I go here on this other form, I will have exactly the same information, of course. Okay. So now I can get back here and see the nodes that were generated. Maybe. Okay, we had a node generated saying that we have changed the invoice coding. Okay. What else? Okay, we can do that. Of course, we can see the PDF. But there is another feature now, which is that. Oops, don't we have a PDF for that? Okay. No, I'm sorry, I missed. Um, I need to open a PDF. So maybe we're gonna get back to open invoices because I'm sure we have PDF for the open invoices. We're gonna clear out the filter and then open the PDF. Okay. So here we are. We have the invoice popping up, and we have it in a different window, which is a choice that the client has made. Because this way we can check out both at the same time. Maybe we can do this. Check out the invoice details and have the invoice details here too. Okay, so now if I close this form, and this one, and I go to audit mode, I will have something very similar. Very similar to what we had in the desktop version. Maybe I can open this one. I hope I have the PDF because it's not always we don't always have the PDFs. Okay, so now I want to display the PDF in a separate, and you see here we have exactly the same. Not sure I can remove this. No. How can I remove this? I should be able to remove the. Oh yeah. Okay. Very easy. Okay. So as you can see, the PDF window is exactly in the same position. So I can do what we did in the desktop mode. Okay. Sorry. I need to first audit the invoice if it's correct, and then I get the next one. And you see the amount here. And the amount here is similar. Okay, I can audit it, and I get the other one. Okay, it's very simple actually. It's exactly the same behavior as what we had. Okay, now if I show the audited invoices, then I will see my the two ones I just made. Okay. So if we take a look at the server, of course, I can get back here. I love that. Okay, and I can get back here. Okay, and Acrobat has a strange behavior. I think there is a way where we can remove all this, but yeah, we can remove all this stuff. So now I can go to the next invoice. And I don't, oh yeah, I have this stuff again. It's difficult to get rid of it. So I can, what can I do? I can, F8, okay? If I do F8, and this one, I don't know how to remove this one. It's a pretty strange stuff. I mean, you gotta get used to it. Okay, never mind. There must be a way to, okay, no, never mind. So, I audit it, and I get it, okay? Okay, if I don't do it, I got a message box popping in, etc. And also I can email the invoice notes, just like we did a second ago, so we can send it to ourselves, attach the invoice PDF, and send the invoice, and send the email, okay? It's done. Now if I get to my, oh yes, just arrived, here it is, and I can open it, and I can maybe see the invoice PDF that was attached to the email. As you can see, it's exactly, let me get back to my Windows session, it's exactly the same invoice PDF as we had. The amount is exactly the same, okay. So we have something pretty powerful here that we can manipulate the way we want, okay? And of course we have exactly the same feature as we had, like being able to manage the users. And this is my profile, but I can take another one, or I can take maybe regular. Let's find a regular user. A regular user, oh yeah, here it is. And I can modify the rights, And this user has rights only on one company. But I can grant rights on another company like ABC Distribution. And I can grant rights. And I can say you can dispute on all divisions, on some carriers like FedEx Freight, and so on. You see? It's a moving list, so it's the items I select get away from the right list, and then I can say all accounts. Okay. Then if I save that and I close the form, I will get the list here, exactly what I've just selected. Pretty smooth now. And then I can see that I have two companies allowed. Okay. What about approving and paying some invoice here? Let's take 3. As you can see here, my cart now is filled in, and I can see the invoices that I have in my shopping cart. I have actually 3 invoices. See here, just updated. And if I review that, I will limit to 3 I have here. And I can say pay now. If I pay now, my cart disappears. By the way, you've seen that the way the cart appears is different from the desktop. Oops, I should have approved it before. Okay, so I'm going to approve it. Okay, I'm going to pay it. And then here you can see that the way the cart comes in is different because we have this. Very easily we can make a transition on the web that are difficult on the desktop, and so we have these cool features. Okay, now if I try to close, it will tell me that I have one invoice checked for pay and not yet submitted for payment. So I say yes, and I get out. Okay, all this was local. We've been running a local server. And this is the server that we have that is here. What would be interesting now is to move to an online server. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to say, okay, what about going into an online server? This is our site, FoxInCloud site. By the way, you have many cool features here. You can see a live demo. You can do many things. You can see a live tutorial with many cool features like data update. You can learn a lot from here, so I encourage you to go on this site also. Yeah, you can see how many types of data source you can use and stuff like this. Okay, so now what we're going to do now is just add an IP to the FoxInCloud site, and as you see, you have this the same feature as we had on locally, and you can see that we have almost it's the same database actually, and we have all these pretty cool. You see, if I change the client to a larger one, maybe it's a little slower, but it's still manageable. Okay. No, everything is pretty similar to what we just saw, and we can maybe go to audit mode, take a FedEx invoice, open the invoice, the invoice form for this, okay, and say no, I want to see it in a separate form. So if you do that, you will have your PDF opening here, and you can say quick audit, and it will automatically move to the next invoice and say, what's the amount of this one? 99.07, 99.07. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead. Okay, or you can maybe say, you can say, I want to type some note. This invoice is very expensive. Oops, sorry, I mistyped that. And if you get out, you have a small logo that says, do you want to save or clear? I want to save. Okay, and if I save it, I have it here. This note was just created. This invoice is very expensive. Okay, So you see all those features we have. You can of course do the GL coding like we did. Say I want a 90% for that, and I want to have another line for 10%, and this other line should be this way, and say I want to have my own code here, and that works. And I say that, and I email the invoice notes. So I got this invoice is very expensive, and I can set it to myself, and I can attach the invoice PDF, and I can send. Yeah, it was sent, and it's gonna arrive pretty soon. Here we are, it just arrived. Okay, and it's here, and you can see the invoice PDF, which is exactly the same as what we had online. Is it the same? Yes, it is. 118, 118. Exactly the same. Okay. So now, what I'm going to test now, which is pretty cool, is I want to see the audited invoices, which are very similar to what we had on the. I can approve them. I can pay them. I can say pay now, and it will be paid. Of course, it's fake. It's a fake database. It's only a test database. It won't be paid for real. So I want to export 69 invoices to a PDF. Okay, here we are. I got it. Differently from what we had, now the PDF displays right in the browser. So I can print it if I want. I can save it. I can do anything I want with it. I think we've seen most of it. We can also, of course, we can say all status. Oh, there is a new feature here. As we're on the web, it's not easy to display too many invoices. I mean, we have 2,000 invoices. That would be too much for the web display. It will slow down the application for everyone. So what we did here is that in case we're running on the web, we are breaking down the invoices by quarter. This way I can say maybe I want to see the invoices of the third quarter 2012, and then I can maybe further filter and filter again and stuff like this. And obviously these invoices were paid. I can even select another division for this invoice if it was misassigned, and many things like this. So I think we've done a pretty large visit of this application. Oh yes, there is also something that is pretty cool, is that on the web we can have this kind of calendar that is much more, it's much easier to use than what we have in the desktop version. Okay, you can see here, and if you move out, so here we have only I don't know how many invoices, 311, and the quarter is how is the quarter? Let's see. Okay, I won't go dig into too many details. Maybe you can see here it's pretty easy to do. Of course, we can sort the columns up and down. We can do many things actually. So if you have any additional questions, feel free to comment this video or to drop a note or a comment in the LinkedIn FoxInCloud group. We'll be very pleased to answer you. Or you can also go to the Westwind Web Connect message board, where we have a FoxInCloud section, and you can ask any question you want. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to make it as easy as possible, as fast as possible. I hope I wasn't too fast. Maybe next time we can dig into the code and explain you how all this works under the hood. And thank you for listening, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.